for me, also what you're saying, it's much more than somebody else just being there. It's much more than someone else being in the room. Someone else listening. Someone, and not with their ears, but with their energies. And this is also, you know, I put this in the main thing at the beginning, that I wanted to teach people how to listen. Now, this is the difference between an extraordinary session and somebody just feeling intruded upon, is being able to be in the space and just being able to listen. You really don't have to, you know, other than it's this dance between having to talk to keep it moving along, but you're all the time listening, and you're all the time. So when I'm teaching people, and when I'm, you know, I don't just go off and do something else while you're having. I'm here, and I can feel all of you working. I feel it going through my different, and I'm listening, and you know that is having an effect. And then you're listening to each other. So it brings about this space where people are deeply heard, kind of almost on a soul level, and that feeling of having somebody, and once you can listen, that holds the space, so the other person feels held without being intruded upon, and listened to without being judged or having to get made better. They're just heard on an energetic, and that lets people just start unwinding inside. I'm so pleased, I'm so pleased. I think from the outside and from people who aren't trained, there's this feeling of healers or people doing something. They're doing a healing, or they're doing something to the other person, or they're going in somehow to find out what's happening, or to do something, to mend something. And maybe some people do, but my whole experience and my whole training has been completely the other way round. That there's tremendous power in listening and kind of just letting God have his or her way. It just, as a practitioner and for your clients, it just unfolds and unfolds, and it never stops. Listening is a principle. It can just go on forever, and you learn it in more and more depths and listen to more and more energies. And within that, if you want to bring the spiritual energies into your sessions, and have it integrate on a higher level with the subtle energies or the divine realms or the higher self or whatever you want to call it, you have to ask, or in my experience you have to ask. So we're going to do the same again, but to really have that in your awareness, the listening and holding, and not intruding energetically, sitting back. You know, I know we're on Zoom, so we're pretty sat back quite a long way away from each other, but energetically we're not sat back a long way away. We're connected energetically, so there is a difference between coming in and just sitting back and letting that person have their space. So taking account of that, of the listening and giving the other person space.